Behold, Gladiator, quote, set mods, unquote. Like all set mods, you can get these from bounties and Cetus. As you can see, we have the entire set equipped, 3 on our melee weapon and 3 on our Warframe. That build you just saw, level 80 enemies, let's go. So as you can see, it does mediocre damage because we have no status, and that is one of the many reasons that you should not equip this entire set. You should not equip any of the entire sets of set mods. They're not set mods. Also, that time to kill was atrocious, just saying. As you can see, these don't actually benefit you in any way for equipping them as a, quote, set. They just do what it says on the mod. When I take off Gladiator Finesse here, I lose 15% of my critical chance bonus because that's what it says on the mod card. Only they've kind of tricked you, haven't they? You can't see that set on the mod card. Hold on. Let me just unequip all these mods. And we're going to unequip these mods. And now, if we look at each individual mod, it will say, there we are, 15% critical chance, stacks combo multiplier. What this mod says on it is exactly what it does. It doesn't matter how many of the other mods from the set you have. This mod just says what it does at face value. There isn't a set bonus. These mods just say what they do. So while putting all of the mods on will give you a all-in critical scaling build, that's not really what you want. That's not how you make powerful builds in this game. You want everything to be hybrid as much as you can so that all of your multipliers multiply each other instead of just adding to them. That being said, if your weapon has absolutely atrocious status chance, then Gladiator Rush is probably a good combo counter duration mod. 6 seconds is definitely enough. You'll have 9 seconds total, that's fine. And Gladiator Vice is an okay attack speed mod, especially if you don't have primed Fury, then this is just better than Fury. I do not recommend Gladiator Might. It is a very large loss in damage from Organ Shatter, and the increase in critical chance scaling is not worth that loss in critical damage. Likewise, while Gladiator Aegis is only a little bit less than half as good as Steel Fiber, and Gladiator Resolve is only a little bit less than half as good as Vitality, Gladiator Finesse is only a fourth the strength of Quick Thinking, and it is very bad. You should not equip it unless you have free space on your Warframe. But when you do have free space on your Warframe, these mods have their one chance at glory. Because this Valkyr build you see here, featured in a framework, which you can find in the description if you want to check out the build and how I use it, has the open space to run Gladiator Finesse and Gladiator Aegis, I do add a little survivability to my build, and it allows me to boost my melee weapon's power. That's a reasonable use of open Warframe mod space if you have it, but you usually don't. So, set mods are not set mods. You don't get a special bonus for equipping some or all of them together. They just do what they say up front, and equipping any amount of them, whether it is 1 or 5, gives you the same benefit per mod. So don't equip them together. They're not a set. They shouldn't be used as a set. Some of them are good and some of them are bad. Use the good ones and don't use the bad ones. They are also not, quote, new player mods, unquote. There are plenty of them that are objectively good and can be a best in slot choice for a given type of weapon or Warframe build, but there are some of them that are just weak. They're just good and bad mods, just like the rest of the mods we have in the game. The last thing I'll say, and which we will talk about more in a future video, is that some of them, even the bad ones, allow you to do something I'm going to refer to as stat sticking. This has been a concept for exalted weapons, where you take your melee weapon for Excalibur, and you put the mods you want for Exalted Blade on your Excalibur melee weapon, and then that weapon is a, quote, stat stick, unquote, for your Exalted Blade. You can kind of turn a lot of things into stat sticks now, because set mods are not actually set mods, they just benefit a different part of your loadout from where you put them. With my Valkyr build, I was able to use my Valkyr as kind of a stat stick light for my melee weapon by putting on Gladiator Aegis and Gladiator Finesse because I had the space. And all sets of mods, all 4 of our current sets of set mods, all have examples of ways that you can use them for stat sticking some other part of your loadout. That's interesting and has a little bit of potential, so we'll talk about it at length at a future video. I've been Zandy, and set mods are okay. Thanks very much for watching. Subscribe if you had a good time. Check me out elsewhere on the internet in the description, and I'll see you all next time.